Today we're going to take this cabinet and turn it into a reptile enclosure. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Zoe, but most people know me as ZA Reptiles. And today we're going to be setting up an enclosure for my Calabar Burrowing python, Voodoo, who you guys have only seen a small handful of times on this channel. So these enclosures behind me are from Toxirium. You saw them in a recent video where I put the whole set together. So we have the enclosure, the cabinet, and underneath is an enclosure stand on wheels, which you can't really see in the frame right now. But if you want to see me put all that together and my thoughts on it, head over to that video. I will link it in the description below. So here's the thing. I love the thought of having a cabinet for storage. I do. I love it. But my basement, you guys know, big project, turning my basement into the reptile room. It's happening very slowly. And by slowly, I mean not really at all. It's on the to-do list. So I'm working with 2 small rooms and it's quite crowded. So I need all the enclosure space I can get. So the good part is you can take these cabinets and turn them into enclosures. So that's what we're gonna do. I do want to also mention in the video where I put these together, I said in order to get the doors off, you take the whole top off. No. Lift and push to the inside instead of to the outside like you would be used to. So lift, bring it to the inside, bring it down, and out. Now the cabinets come with cabinet doors, which are these white doors, or black if you get the black. And they also come with clear doors for an enclosure. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these doors back in. When I'm all done, I will switch the handles over to these doors. That way it has handles to match the one on top.
So I was too lazy to actually silicone the enclosure, so I just ended up putting down a sheet of plastic to help keep some of the moisture in the enclosure and out of the seals between the frame of the enclosure and the PVC. For her substrate, I'm just using substrate from her enclosure because I had recently refreshed it. So rather than waste all that substrate, I just used it again. So it's a mix of Reptichip, Reptibark, lots and lots of moss, leaf litter, coconut core, so lots of different textures, just a big mix that I had refreshed and spray down so that it could be nice and humid in there because Calabar Burrowing pythons like it nice and humid. And then we're going to put in her warm hide. So for this setup, I am using a heat mat. I did ask Toxirium ahead of time if heat mats could be used with these enclosures, and they did tell me yes. So you'll see the little cord coming through the back for the probe. So we're putting in the 2 hides, then of course some structures to climb on, because even though they're fossorial snakes, they do still like to climb. I see Voodoo out climbing all of the time. Now one thing I'll mention is because this was meant to be a cabinet, it doesn't have a substrate guard in the front, which I didn't think about. So I am going to go back in with small rocks to kind of create my own little barrier in the front of the enclosure to help keep the substrate in. And then we just add in her water dish. Some more fake plants in the corners. I really like those fake grasses. I've never been able to keep real grasses alive in an enclosure. And then just switching over the handles from the cabinet doors to these doors. And please just ignore my dog that's been barking this whole time.
Time to introduce Voodoo to her new home. Alright, so Voodoo is in her new home. She is exploring, settling in. I need to get some sort of under cabinet light that I can squeeze in between the 2 enclosures to give some overhead lighting. I tried one that I have and it fits, it's just too long. So it's running into the bars on the bottom of this enclosure. So I need one that's a little shorter that can fit right in between the 2 bars and just sit right in the middle of the enclosure. So I'll probably go to Walmart and see if I can find just an under cabinet nice and skinny light that I can just stick under there. If you're interested in checking out Toxirium, there will be a link in the description below so that you can go check them out on top of their links for their social media. And stay tuned because next we'll be setting up this enclosure up top for someone special, and we're gonna really put that enclosure to the test. So if you don't want to miss that, hit the subscribe button and we will see you for the next video. Bye!